A majestic castle crowns a verdant hill, its ancient stones gleaming under the bright Sunday. The courtyard, vast and open, invites exploration, promising secrets within its walls. Above, birds circle in the clear blue sky, their calls echoing in the tranquil air. A sense of timeless grandeur permeates the scene, hinting at the dramas and histories contained within the castle's embrace. Inside the Queen's chamber, an atmosphere of dark vanity hangs heavy in the air. The evil Queen stands before the mirror, her eyes locked onto her reflection with fierce intensity. Her expression is a rigid mask, betraying an all-consuming obsession with her own image. Each line on her face seems etched with the ruthless pursuit of eternal beauty. The mirror reflects not just her image, but the depths of her cold, calculating heart. Inside the Queen's chamber, an unsettling silence descends as the magic mirror awakens. The mirror's surface shimmers, its depths rippling like the surface of disturbed water, hinting at hidden powers. A resonance fills the chamber, an echoing voice that seems to come from another world. The air crackles with otherworldly energy, the mirror's presence dominating the room. An unseen force emanates from the enchanted object, promising revelations and dread in equal measure. In the Queen's chamber, the evil Queen's face twists, consumed by a storm of unbridled rage. Her fists clench, knuckles white as her fury reaches its peak. Jealousy burns in her eyes, a fierce and consuming fire. The very air around her crackles with dark energy, a testament to her malevolent power. In the heart of a dark forest, Snow White, her skin as white as snow, bursts through the undergrowth, a figure of desperate flight. Tears blur her vision as she stumbles, each step a battle against the forest's tangled embrace. Roots and fallen branches become cruel obstacles, mirroring the turmoil within her. The dense shadows of the forest deepen, casting long, ominous shapes that chase at her heels. Deep in the shadowed forest, a grizzled huntsman emerges, his weathered face a mask of inner turmoil. His weapon, once raised with intent, now lowers slowly, the weight of his conscience heavy in his hands. A battle rages within him, the Queen's cruel command clashing with the flicker of humanity in his eyes. The ancient trees stand as silent witnesses to his agonizing moral struggle. His grip loosens further on the weapon, the forest holding its breath as he makes his choice. Defiance hardens his gaze, the huntsman's resolve solidifying against the Queen's dark decree. Lost and alone, Snow White stumbles through the dense forest, a fragile figure against the looming trees. Towering trees surround her, their branches twisting like skeletal arms in the dim light. Eerie sounds echo through the woods, each rustle and snap amplifying her growing terror. Small forest animals cautiously emerge from the undergrowth, their eyes reflecting a mixture of fear and concern. They watch the lost princess, their silent presence, a stark contrast to the overwhelming solitude of the woods. Beneath the silent, snow-laden canopy of the forest, Snow White stumbles, her strength failing. Overwhelmed by despair, she collapses at the foot of an ancient oak, its gnarled branches reaching like skeletal arms. Her weary body finds a cold solace against the tree's rough bark, a stark contrast to the softness she once knew. Exhaustion etches deeper lines into her face, her fair skin ghostly against the pristine, unforgiving snow. Lost and weary, Snow White discovers a quaint cottage, its small size a stark contrast to the towering trees surrounding it. The cottage is nestled so deep within the woods, it almost seems like a secret whispered by the ancient trees. A wisp of smoke curls lazily from the chimney, a beacon of warmth and invitation in the dense forest. The sight of the smoke stirs a flicker of hope within Snow White, promising respite from her desperate journey. She hesitates for a moment, her hand outstretched towards the wooden door, unsure of what lies within. With a deep breath, Snow White decides to seek shelter, drawn by the promise of safety and the allure of the unknown. Snow White steps hesitantly into the dwarf's cottage, her eyes wide with apprehension. A sense of wonder washes over her as she takes in the tiny furnishings, each piece perfectly in its place. The scale of the cottage emphasizes her own vulnerability, making her seem larger than life within the miniature space. Dust motes dance in the air, illuminated by a ray of sunlight filtering through the small windows. The air is still and quiet, holding the secrets of the absent dwarfs. An overwhelming feeling of curiosity and anticipation fills the small cottage. The 7 dwarfs burst through the doorway of their cozy cottage, a boisterous wave of colour and energy. Each dwarf, uniquely shaped and spirited, halts abruptly, their faces etched with surprise. Their eyes widen in astonishment, collectively fixed on an unexpected presence within their humble abode. A moment of stunned silence hangs heavy in the air as they behold Snow White, a vision of unexpected beauty. Inside the dwarf's cozy cottage, a crackling fireplace casts a warm, inviting glow, illuminating the room with dancing shadows. The dwarfs huddle together, their faces alight with laughter, as they share tales of adventure and mirth. A radiant smile graces Snow White's face as she sits among the dwarfs, her presence adding to the joyous atmosphere. The air is filled with warmth and camaraderie, creating a haven of joy and companionship. The fire crackles merrily, its light reflecting in the eyes of the Dwarf 1 and Dwarf 2 and Snow White as they revel in the shared stories. A sense of belonging and happiness permeates the cottage, binding the Dwarf 1 and Snow White in a moment of pure, unadulterated joy. In the Queen's dark laboratory, the air crackles with brewing malice. Cloaked in shadow, the evil Queen hunches over a bubbling potion, her face a mask of wicked intent. The potion glows with an eerie, otherworldly light, reflecting in the Queen's cold, calculating eyes. Outside, thunder rages, each strike a dark echo of the Queen's inner turmoil and vengeful desires. She stirs the concoction with grim satisfaction, a silent promise of impending doom hanging heavy in the air. In the heart of the Queen's laboratory, a horrifying transformation begins as the Queen convulses. Her regal form twists unnaturally, youthful beauty fading as the frame shrinks and contours. Before our eyes, the Queen's face melts away, replaced by the grotesque visage of a hunched old hag, her malice palpable. A maniacal cackle erupts, echoing through the chamber as she revels in her wicked plan. Snow White skips joyfully through a sun-drenched meadow, the dwarf's quaint cottage nestled in the background. She kneels amidst a riot of wildflowers, her delicate fingers selecting the most vibrant blooms. A sinister figure emerges, the evil Queen, cloaked in a disguise as an old unassuming peddler woman, shuffles into view. The old woman slowly approaches Snow White, her eyes glinting with wicked intent, a stark contrast to the innocent scene. At the dwarf's cottage, the evil Queen, cloaked as a haggard old woman, offers Snow White a gleaming apple. Suspicion clouds Snow White's face as she eyes the fruit, her brow furrowed in doubt. The hag's voice, a silken whisper, weaves its way into Snow White's mind, weakening her resolve. Drawn in, Snow White's gaze fixates on the apple's vibrant color and flawless form. Her fingers trembling, she reaches out and grasps the fruit. A final hesitant glance cast at the hag. One bite and Snow White's eyes widen, then glaze over as she collapses lifelessly to the ground. One bite and Snow White's eyes widen, then glaze over as she collapses lifelessly to the ground.